Alrighty guys, how y'all doing this morning? Yeah, I got a bucket load of cut feed on here from when we did our tub grinding. Yesterday I actually brought these girls 3 bucket loads, 1 in the morning and 2 last night. And I just dumped it in piles. I didn't put it in a bunk. I knew they would waste a fair amount, but that was a pile right there. Another one right there. Just a whole bunch of little piles is what I did. Another one there, where this little group of girls is right there. You know what? In general, like, they're pretty happy and content. They're not even getting up. Another one right here. It's got some wastage right there, right there. So, but today we're gonna give them this bucket load behind the barn area over that way, and then these bunks right here, we're gonna scoop those up and we're gonna take them out into the one open pasture. So the reason for the first bucket load is just to keep the cows content so they're not bugging me while I'm traveling back and forth moving these bunks. So we got 3 steel bunks that are right there, that one with no rail, and then 2 with a rail. Anyways, they don't have a floor in them. And then I've got a bunk out there with wood sides. It's a steel frame, but it's got wood sides and it's got a floor in it, a wood floor on a skid. So that one, I'll pull it right into the yard. Speaking of pulling it, I gotta grab a chain for that. But anyways, we'll pull that one into the yard and fill it in the yard. And then we have a 5th bunk with a floor, but I think we gotta fix up the boards in it. Anyway, for now, we're just gonna move bunks and work at getting them filled up. So I'll bring you guys back a little bit later. Alrighty guys, well, we're working at filling those bunks, those 3. So I just pulled a little bit down from the pile. And I'll show you what I do there. For all you newcomers, just to stir it up a little bit more, I'll take the bucket, tilt it way down with the grapple open, and that mixes it even more yet than just when we tub ground and had it cascade down on top of each other. Then you just take a big bucket load, like so, and drive 3/4, well, not 3/4, half a mile, I guess, to where we got the bunks positioned. We got 2 bunkfuls out there right now, and it'll be at least 2 more to fill those 3 bunks. When I get out there, I'll bring you back and kind of show you what it's like when we're offloading. Talk to you then. Alrighty, so we're back here at these 3 bunks. So basically I just pull up to the side of the bunk, get out of the way, girls, open the grapple, let a little bit spill out. That was that side right there. Now we're topping this spot off, the middle section of this one particular bunk. And I don't got very much left in here, so I'm going to go to the very first bunk that we started with and top it off with the little bit that's left in the machine, or in the bucket. You can see it's not very full. There we go. Now we got to go back, get another bucket load for the third bunk. Just back and forth, back and forth. Let's get her done. Catch you later. Alrighty guys, well there it is. 5 bucket loads just to fill those 3 bunks. I'm not gonna bring the other bunk out here today. I got some other stuff we got to get dealt with, so I can grab the other bunk tomorrow. Wouldn't be that big a deal. But we do have a gate that I want to close because I don't want the cows going into that summer fallow field. So we got to close up that gate and get on to another job, and then we've got company coming this afternoon at some point too. So fun. Let's keep at her and get her done. Alrighty guys, there it is. You can see right here, I ended up putting a lifting lug in. My steel support, this one that goes from bottom to top, wasn't right perfect, but my lifting lug is. You can see it's balanced straight out, bang on, right on. Gotta love it. So now my plan is to actually lay this down and throw a sheet of plywood on this side from here to the bottom. Just layer in, screw it on, and that way it's covered on the bottom half. Let's get after it. Alrighty guys, well Dylan showed up at the farm here today, this Sunday afternoon, so that was nice. He wanted to do a couple things and decided he'd give me a hand with this goddamn door. This old freaking door is a big old heavy piece of crap. So we're just trying to get I got all the track off. I'm just trying to get a chain wrapped around the one set of rollers so we can wiggle it the hell out of there. And I'm not sure what CP thinks she's doing, but anyway. Yeah. So once we get it out of there, I'll bring you guys back. Alrighty guys, well we got that son of a bitch out of there. Finally. Trying to save it to some extent. So what I ended up doing was we got it pulled out half-assed, and then I was able to grapple it and pull it in tight to the bucket and lift it out of there. And now in our shelter for our bulls, there's one section there, an 8-foot section, where it's a big hole, and we're gonna stand this up in that hole temporary until we get a bunch of metal cladding. Whenever that's gonna be, I don't know. If it's this winter at some point or next fall, one or the other. So this is gonna be somewhat of a temporary wind blocker for the back wall of the bull shelter. It was just plywood, and the plywood got ripped off, blew off, so we'll drive some nails through the door right into the 2x4 framework that the plywood was attached to, and hopefully that'll hold, and we can basically close the hole in somewhat. Anyway, let's get it over there, and I'll bring you guys back in a little bit.
I'll go that way. Let off another bit.
Why? Well, I can tell you where they are. There's one right here. There's one right here.
Oh,
see the nails?
Yeah.
So there's one right here.
All right.
The next one is right here.
Where's the post here? Where's the post?
Perfect fit almost. That's your hammer.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I bought it for you for Christmas a couple years ago. Watch your head, Dylan. Your mother's got a hammer in her hand. Hey?
Wait.
Fuck, it's windy here. Let you guys go. Talk to you later. There. I guess it was more like a 12-foot hole versus an 8-foot hole. But there's 2x4s that go across because the plywood just went straight up and down. So 3 sheets got blown off. So that blocks that hole off until we get metal cladding and get it all screwed on good and proper. It happened in 2 other spots down that way, and we just ran slabs on it and it worked great. But it definitely needs metal cladding on the back wall. Part of the barn is done, but the other part is not. Okay, anyways, that job is done. Now to get the other door installed. So I don't think that's gonna happen today because I got a text message saying that our neighbors are on their way over. So I'll let you guys go and we'll talk to y'all later. Morning, everybody. What's going on today? Well, I can tell you what's going on here. Smells wonderful. Monday morning, December 4th. And as you guys saw in a previous clip, we got our bunks out to the cows, and we got cut feed in those bunks. Well, now we're gonna go out there this morning. It's snowing. Things are getting white again, but not for long. But anyway, we're gonna find out how much those cows ate in one day. So I gave them a bucket load yesterday on the ground in the morning when I was moving the bunks, and then we filled the bunks, so they've had access to cut feed all day yesterday and all night. And usually it takes a day or two for them to fill right up. They more or less gorge themselves for a couple of days on this stuff, and then it settles out a little. I'm gonna guess between those 3 bunks we took them yesterday that we'll be able to, I'm gonna guess we'll be able to put about 2 bucket loads in to top them off. It was 5 bucket loads to fill them, and I'm gonna guess 2 bucket loads would top them off. But they're not super hungry. There's a few of them eating at the bunks I can see right now. You guys might not be able to make it out from here, way out there, but there's a bunch along the fence line there, and the windows are kind of dirty. There's a few at the bunks munching away, and there's a few laying down. They're kind of scattered around, so that's telling me that they're full. If they're not at the bunk right now this morning, then they're full, so that's a positive. Anyways, yeah, she's snowing and things are starting to get white again, but not for long. It is supposed to get up to +6 degrees Celsius here by Wednesday. So like the nighttime, the low for tomorrow night, Tuesday night, the low is +1, above freezing. It's not even supposed to be at freezing point. So yeah, we're heading into a couple days of warmer temps. So this snow ain't gonna be around here for very friggin' long. Anyway, let's get these cows checked over. Bring you back in a sec. Alrighty, well, we got roughly half the bucket load dumped in this bunk. And we still got to do those other two, which are, by the looks of it, quite a bit emptier. Dusty stuff. It's dry. Would have been good to have had a garden hose running on it, wetting it down as we were grinding, but there's no water where we were. When we tub grind, it's always dry feed. It's never really a wet feed. Sometimes we'll have the odd bale that's baled up wet or too wet for real safe keeping, but I actually don't mind having a few of those wet tight bales when we're tub grinding, because they cause the pile to start to heat up and almost ferment and silage. That moisture gets distributed throughout the whole, that bale will get distributed throughout the whole pile if you have 10 or 15 of them on 150 bales. So one more bucket fill should do it. I'll show you what the bunks look like. More or less not empty, but not full. This end one is the emptiest. It's if we spread it out, it would be about half full, maybe a little less than half even. And the middle one was about the same. The one on the end was over half full still. So we'll go home, grab another bucket load, and that'll do them. Let's get her done.
Oh, marvelous.
Alrighty then. Anyway, that concludes our feeding expedition of these girls out here. Didn't quite have enough in that bucket load to put a little bit right in the very middle section of this center bunk, but you know what? They still got a lot of feed to play with. And if anybody's wondering, BP, where's the water? How come you're not taking no water? Well, these girls are half a mile from the water bowl. They get to walk half a mile every day that they want water. That one don't feel like walking. She's licking up a little bit of snow. And there's nothing wrong with that. She'll walk up later on. So yeah, actually having the cows walk, at least, even if it's only 1/8 of a mile or a couple hundred yards, at least once to twice a day, is good for them. Because when they go to calve, you don't want a real big, huge, fat, heavy weight cow that can't have that baby because she's too fat. And so having them walk, like I say here, half a mile at this point, will keep them in shape for when it's time to give birth. Anyway, let's get on home and see about installing a door. Talk to you guys later. Alrighty guys, so we got our door, our new door in place, but I kind of might have fucked up a little bit. maybe. And where I might have screwed up is right here. I didn't account for my height on this, and that could really fuck me up on my hanging of my door.
Well, why don't we lift it some more?
Well, we got to get this in the track in place and find out where it's gonna position properly. So I'm gonna have to let you guys go while CP and I install this this round roller track, and we'll figure out where we're gotta be after that. I'll bring you guys back in a few minutes. Fun, fun, fun. So we ended up bringing the door back to the shop. I cut those two brackets off and re-welded them on the other side, but readjusted them so that we had more play. Basically, on the frame of the door, those two brackets, I dropped them down by 1.5 inches. Downside is the brackets are on the inside part of the door, and just the way they're designed, it could cause them to push the top edge of the door away from the wall. Anyways, we'll figure out how we're gonna seal that up when the time comes. Let's get this thing back in position at the barn and see if we can get the track mounted. Talk to you guys later. Well, guys, we're one stage closer. I just got to adjust the door up and down, snug it up this way, that way, whatever. It's low on this end, a little high on that end, which is fine by me, but I would like to get the door leveled out a little better. It's covering the hole quite nicely on both sides, so that's a positive. I got to get the other track mounted on the back half, so let's get at her, I guess. Alrighty, guys, well, here she is. So we gotta, like I said before, I was gonna get baler belting to kind of close it off, because we got a pretty good gap up there. So I could screw baler belting into the header area and then have it butt up against the frame of the door, and that would close that off. And same coming down the sides, over there, over here. But before, there was no way you were opening the old door with one finger. There she is. There, we got a friggin' door. Right on. We'll catch you guys all later. This is the door build / install. I guess this is door install. So share the videos, comment, subscribe. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get her done. I gotta take CP to the city. Talk to y'all later.